Meghan Markle's 45th birthday. I've got Link Lauren, one of Meghan Markle's biggest supporters in the United States of America, and we were just going to celebrate how this lady has turned 45. And Link, it's just such bad news because all of a sudden, this birthday, this 45th birthday, has turned into an absolute disaster.
Meghan Markle, she's your favourite. We have to talk about her 45th birthday. It went publicly unacknowledged by the royal family on Tuesday.
It's her 45th birthday. And amid the feud, which her family members could snub the Duchess.
It's just such bad news because all of a sudden, this birthday, this 45th birthday, has turned into an absolute disaster for Meghan Markle.
It is Meghan Markle's birthday today, and the name of the game apparently is Cosplay, as Meghan is once again cosplaying her mother-in-law, Princess Diana.
I think it's just their desperate need to always seem to be out there and posting how wonderfully fun they are.
It's a momentous occasion, her 45th birthday, but underneath the celebrations lies a tension that still feels very real. While some family members may quietly be keeping their distance, it's no secret that the long-standing feud continues to cast a shadow. Psychologists and insiders alike weigh in, suggesting there's little chance that Prince William and Kate Middleton, the Prince and Princess of Wales, will personally reach out. One expert even stated, "I seriously doubt they're expecting a birthday message from William and Catherine. The divide seems deep, and those close to the palace confirm there's no intention for acknowledgement, no public greetings or heartfelt notes making their way toward the Duchess on her special day." Many believe the relationship between these key royal figures has simply dissolved. The warmth and familial closeness that once might have existed no longer seem to be there. Some attribute the rift heavily to Meghan's role in what they describe as a breakdown of trust within the family. It's a complicated web of emotions and history that has built up over the years, fueled by misunderstandings, bad press, and public fallout. Despite rumors and hopeful speculation, any idea that secret birthday wishes are flying back and forth feels more like wishful thinking than reality.
However, Sykes believes Harry's brother Prince William and Kate Middleton won't be reaching out. I don't think they'll be expecting any birthday wishes from William and Catherine, the author said. Others are saying, that the Prince and Princess of Wales will not acknowledge them in any capacity. That relationship isn't there anymore. They believe Meghan played a significant role in the breakdown of family trust, and I think any suggestion that they're secretly exchanging birthday wishes belongs more in the realm of wishful thinking than a reality.
And as for the question of social media, like a public shout-out on Instagram or any other platform, experts say it's completely out of the picture. Birthday greetings for a private citizen in the royal family are usually handled with discretion, sent quietly and personally, away from public eyes. The notion that there might be something posted for the world to see, the answer is a firm no. Harry, Meghan, and their children have largely been sidelined from those official family updates and posts. Their names do not appear, and their moments are kept separate from royal social media feeds. The divide remains clear, and for now, it seems like distance is the continuing narrative as this important birthday passes quietly into the family history. For years, the same strict policy has been upheld, and palace insiders will often tell you it's all protocol, nothing personal. But let's be honest for a moment. How easy is it really to separate the personal from the professional when it comes to something as warm and intimate as a birthday?
No. Look, it's not a snub. It's just protocol, and it's not right that they should be posting birthday messages for people who aren't a working royal. That's not what the royal Instagram is for. King Charles, though, I think he's a bit of a softie. I wouldn't be surprised if he sends a card. And
that card will end up on a Netflix documentary at some point.
Possibly. Well, when I say he sends it, probably he'll get one of his staff to send it. But I wouldn't criticise him for that, because that's taking the higher moral ground. Kate and William, not so much. I'd be very surprised if they're in any sort of communication at all with Meghan.
You have to wonder if anyone inside that grand historic palace pauses to say, hey, It's Harry's wife's birthday today, maybe we should acknowledge it. Surely, even amidst tensions and old rivalries, someone somewhere might feel inclined to extend a simple, kind gesture. Yet, when family tensions run deep, it's not uncommon for some relatives to act distant, keeping their distance, and possibly snubbing even a birthday. The landscape of royal relationships is anything but straightforward, and this upcoming milestone, the Duchess's 45th birthday, is no exception. Expectations are mixed. On one hand, some members of the royal family may extend their warm wishes, recognizing the significance of the day and the person behind the title. On the other hand, others might respond with a reserved or indifferent attitude, reflecting ongoing strains beneath the polished surface of public appearances. When you look to Prince Harry's father, King Charles, the picture becomes more nuanced. Most experts agree he will probably reach out in his own understated way to mark the occasion. Tom Sykes, a well-known royal commentator, believes King Charles is incredibly polite and formal, making it almost inevitable that he will send some form of birthday acknowledgement to his daughter-in-law.
As for whether the royal family is planning on acknowledging on Instagram or anything, zero chance. Birthday wishes to a private citizen would be sent privately. They explained absolutely no way anything will be put on social media or feeds like that. Harry and Meghan and their children haven't been included in that policy for several years, she pointed out. So palace officials would tell you it's protocol. It's not personal. But what do you think? It's hard to not take that a little bit personal, don't you think? You'd think that someone there would want to, have to say, oh, it's Harry's wife's birthday today.
In fact, royal reporter Kinsey Schofield backs this up, explaining that while Charles might not make a public grand gesture, he typically sends a quiet birthday card or perhaps a modest gift to palace staff to pass along. This approach fits his style: respectful, discreet, and thoughtful, but far from flamboyant. King Charles is known for his reserved and meticulous nature, and though his gestures might not grab headlines, they carry a certain significance behind the scenes. So the question remains, in an environment ruled by protocol and tradition, where personal feelings often take a back seat, will these small acts of kindness help keep some warmth alive amid the complexities of royal family dynamics? Only time will tell how this birthday will be quietly celebrated or quietly ignored. Beneath the surface, there's a surprising layer of compassion to consider.
Birthday. And amid the feud, which her family members could snub the Duchess. Let's talk about this. Some royal family members will likely acknowledge her 45th birthday, while others may give her the cold shoulder. Prince Harry's dad, King Charles, will very likely send his birthday wishes on the big day. Tom Sykes suspects. The king is scrupulously polite, and I'm quite certain he would wish to send his daughter-in-law birthday wishes. Royal expert Kinsey Schofield agrees Charles will quietly send a birthday card or a modest gift through his staff. Charles has always had a compassionate streak, and despite everything that's happened, he's rarely gone out of his way to overtly be unkind to Meghan. A discreet gesture would be within character.
Despite all the drama and conflicts that has unfolded, it's rare, almost unheard of, for him to openly express harshness or unkindness toward Meghan. He tends to keep things subtle and discreet, so a quietly thoughtful gesture would fit perfectly within his usual style. Yet, the timing of this particular action was almost certain to spark curiosity and speculation. On one side, the palace remained publicly silent, choosing to say nothing and maintain a calm exterior. Meanwhile, Meghan seemed determined to control the narrative herself. She made sure her followers and fans saw exactly how she intended to mark the occasion, crafting a clear and deliberate image of the day. This stark contrast, the silence versus the statement, quickly turned into the central story that everyone wanted to talk about. But the drama didn't stop there. What followed made the whole birthday controversy even more layered and intriguing. The pictures that surfaced sparked a fresh wave of comparisons between Meghan and the iconic Princess Diana. Critics and commentators alike noticed uncanny similarities in the way Meghan posed, the style she chose, and the atmosphere she created, almost as if she was borrowing cues from the late Princess Diana's well-remembered image.
And this, of course, is very evident in the birthday picture. So what am I talking about here? If you saw the thumbnail, of course, you're probably aware this is not a surprise, but this is what Meghan Markle shared for her big girl birthday. Yep. I would also like to mention that this is off-center, which bugs me a little bit. This is also the second Instagram error that we've seen in the last couple of days of her not centering things correctly. So bravo to that. And she is jumping into a pool with her black bathing suit on. Happy birthday. According to People magazine, the photos were taken by a friend during an early birthday celebration in California. So I imagine maybe this is Masan Harriman or something. They roped him into doing this. And so she's like, I'm going to celebrate my birthday. And then splashing in, thank you for the birthday love. I mean, honestly, I feel like that's so weird that public people think we give a crap about their birthday.
This debate isn't new by any means. For years, observers have been discussing whether Meghan's choices are meant as a respectful nod, an homage to Diana's legacy, or if she's trying to recreate or replicate key parts of Diana's iconic persona, and this distinction really matters. Because it's not unusual at all for members of the royal family or anyone connected to such a historic institution to draw inspiration from past generations, especially someone as beloved as Diana. The question lies in motivation and intention, whether it's a thoughtful tribute or something more calculated, and that ongoing conversation keeps adding fuel to the public's fascination with every move Meghan makes. Throughout history, the royal family has often looked to those who came before them for inspiration. It's a time-honored tradition that Catherine, Duchess of Cambridge, has embraced gracefully. Other members of the royal circle have done the same, adapting elements of style, symbolism, and even public persona that reflect the legacies of their predecessors. Fashion.
Now, I understand with the royal family because they actually reflect, they work for the people, and they always post the picture and then react later to the kind messages. I feel like this is presumptuous because it's like, number one, people can't comment on your Instagram, so how do they know how do you know they're giving you birthday love? You're just anticipating that they're giving you birthday love. But it's like jumping into the pool, like, thank you for the birthday love. You have no clue if people love you, Meghan. You have no idea. You're just kind of jumping into the deep end of the pool and tanking it as your career is with a bunch of balloons as if you're a toddler. This just feels, especially for a royal, like just being in a swimsuit like this just feels so undignified.
After all, is cyclical, and symbolism tends to reappear in various forms over time, weaving a familiar narrative thread through generations. Yet, while this borrowing of ideas is common, it has sparked a lively debate about where the line lies between inspiration and imitation. Inspiration is about taking a spark from the past and kindling something fresh and new. Imitation, on the other hand, is about mirroring something already known, sometimes too closely for comfort. This exact tension has come back into the spotlight following the recent release of Meghan Markle's birthday photos. The images reignited discussions around this complex balance, but the criticism wasn't just casual chatter, it turned sharper and more intense. Many observers argue that Meghan hasn't just drawn from royal traditions. Instead, they suggest she has woven together a series of very different public identities over the years.
It is Meghan Markle's birthday today, and the name of the game apparently is Cosplay, as Meghan is once again cosplaying her mother-in-law, Princess Diana. And of course, this has been talked about for years now. Meghan Markle's incessant need to copy other people, from Diana to the Princess of Wales to other celebrities like Pamela Anderson, Gwyneth Paltrow. Meghan Markle seems to lack one very key thing in the public's eye, and that is a defined identity. From her fashion to her personality to her interests, everything about Meghan seems to be a copy of somebody else because she lacks an inherent identity on her own. And this comes from a mixture of things, including a massive narcissistic ego and, of course, massive insecurities as well. So, guys, we are going to explore and look at some of the ways Meghan Markle has copied many women over the years, but most notably Princess Diana, and why this factors into why people don't like her.
From a royal wife stepping into the spotlight with elegance and duty, to a committed humanitarian passionately championing causes, to a lifestyle personality with a modern flair, and even to a business-minded celebrity entrepreneur based in California, her journey has been characterized by continual reinvention. What some critics are really struggling with is not Meghan's ability to evolve or grow, it's the feeling that, amid these transformations, there's an elusive question: Who is Meghan Markle when she isn't reflecting or borrowing from the images and personas of others? This question looms large, echoing through interviews, media articles, and social conversations alike. The debate certainly doesn't end with just comparisons to Princess Diana, although she remains a frequent reference point. A growing chorus of commentators points out that Meghan appears to draw inspiration not only from Diana, but from an extensive list of influential women across different eras and fields. Figures like Martha Stewart, for example, are often mentioned women who carved out powerful, recognizable niches in lifestyle, entrepreneurship, and celebrity culture. This confluence of influences has led some to wonder whether Meghan's identity is a mosaic, vibrant but fragmented, or whether there is a clear, authentic core that defines her, separate from the legacies and lifestyles she echoes.
Meghan doesn't understand what it means to actually be royalty. She thinks it's like being an influencer and celebrity, and it's just not. And she degrades and demeans what it means to be royal by acting as crass as she does. And of course, there are problems with this in other families as well. But Harry and Meghan are the most high profile. Obviously, Andrew has contributed to this. Sarah has contributed to this. And yes, the monarchy goes on. But we have also seen with Andrew and Sarah how problems 30 plus years ago have ended in disaster now.
She's tried to be this Martha Stewart character for years, but I've said Martha Stewart has authenticity, right? Martha Stewart has street cred. She did time in prison. I've always joked, Martha Stewart is blacker than Meghan Markle. I really think she has more street cred. And Meghan Markle, she's tried to be Gwyneth Paltrow. I don't think Gwyneth Paltrow wants anything to do with her. But basically, when you're a sociopath, in my opinion, you're just an amalgamation and a reflection of everyone around you, right? She became what she thought Harry wanted, and she really tried to cosplay Princess Diana and win over Prince Harry, and now she's trying to act like she's a chef and she's this Oprah, Martha Stewart, Mother Goop, Gwyneth Paltrow figure. None of it is really working, and I have a bone to pick with Meghan Markle today. So I ordered her blackberry spread last week when she released it because I try all of her products.
It's a recurring conversation that continues to captivate and divide public opinion, painting a complex picture of a woman navigating the demanding expectations of royalty, celebrity, and personal ambition all at once. Imagine a lineup of iconic personalities known for crafting unique lifestyles. Think Martha Stewart, Gwyneth Paltrow, Pamela Anderson, and now fast forward to the era of social media influencers redefining what it means to be a lifestyle creator. In this ever-evolving world, there's one figure who's desperately tried to fit into this mold, but hasn't quite landed it convincingly. She's attempted to channel the charm and expertise of Martha Stewart, who, let's be honest, has an undeniable authenticity that runs deep. Martha's not just a domestic guru. She's someone with real grit, a woman who's faced public challenges head-on, including serving time behind bars, which added a layer of grit and genuine relatability.
Good luck letting Harry back into Buckingham Palace, okay? I hear the folks over there, they're in revolt. They don't want to work and serve Prince Harry, and I don't blame them. But yeah, no, this whole lawsuit was a mess from the beginning, but hopefully she can sell her wickless candles, her flower sprinkles, and if they ever send me my blackberry jam that I paid for, maybe she can keep the lights on in the Montecito mansion, Dan.
She's going to be having to sell a hell of a lot of that blackberry spread. The thing that I think is so shocking here, Link, is that, of course you're completely right. Like, it was nuts that he was deciding to go through with a privacy case at the exact moment he was invading the privacy, not just of himself, by the way, but of his family. The timing was absolutely insane.
That kind of authenticity is rare, and as a remark half in jest and half with some truth, people have said Martha Stewart carries more day-to-day street cred than some might expect, even eclipsing high-profile figures like Meghan Markle in that sense. Speaking of Meghan Markle, she's been on a fascinating journey of self-reinvention. At points, it seemed she was mirroring Gwyneth Paltrow's wellness empire, trying to step into that refined modern lifestyle influencer role. But it's worth noting that Gwyneth Paltrow maintains clear distance from that association, not quite embracing Meghan's attempt to ride that wave. When you look deeper...
Yeah. She also posted pictures earlier this week of her favourite raspberry sundae recipe, which... And if I tell you, it doesn't sound to me as if she's gone out on a limb with this, but of course she's given it its raspberry spread, her famous raspberry spread, vanilla ice cream, some shortbread, crushed shortbread, and let's not forget The famous flower sprinkles.
The flower sprinkles. It's a very big kitchen as well. I have to say, there's a fair degree of options. There's a chopping board in there, that almost the size of what is she chopping on there? An ox? I mean, goodness me, it's massive.
Well, that's the only thing you remember in the food program. She was always chopping up fruit or moving something and then just laying it out in a sort of pretty pattern. So basically, I think her primary skill from her programs seemed to be her ability to chop very.
What's unfolding isn't just a simple career pivot, it's almost a psychological game. From my perspective, sociopathy tends to involve adopting the traits of those around you without a core sense of self. Meghan, in many ways, seems to have shaped herself into what she believed Prince Harry wanted: a complex patchwork of identities borrowed from public figures and fairy tale archetypes. She even seemed to take inspiration from Princess Diana's legacy, trying to emulate that timeless royal essence, but ended up competing against Harry in that narrative. Now, as time has gone on, she's pivoted yet again, this time attempting to position herself as a culinary and lifestyle guru, mixing elements from Oprah Winfrey, Martha Stewart, Gwyneth Paltrow, and her own wellness brand ambitions. She's aiming to embody this multifaceted persona, part celebrity chef, part wellness mogul, part inspirational figure. But despite these efforts, the transformation hasn't quite resonated. The audience perceives it as a performance lacking the substance and grounded authenticity of the original trailblazers she seems to emulate. It's a story of reinvention and ambition, but also one of complexity and challenges, where the quest to fit into these iconic boxes doesn't quite land as intended. All right, today I've got a little bone to pick with Meghan Markle.
In the royal family, photos and snaps do come out, certainly of the Waleses. We saw pictures of George when he was 13. But why do we need to see pictures of the Sussexes to this extent to commemorate her 45th birthday?
There's a lot of dogs in this video as well.
Well, that's nothing wrong with that. I mean, one looks a little old, but, looks, that's fine. But it feels like it's, I'm showing that we're one big happy family and everything is all right in our world.
Just last week, I went ahead and ordered her new blackberry spread the moment it dropped because, hey, I've made it a point to try every single one of her products since she started launching them. It's like a personal mission at this point, partly out of curiosity, and partly because I want to see how she's carving out this new chapter for herself. But here's a thought. Good luck getting Prince Harry welcomed back into Buckingham Palace anytime soon. From what I'm hearing, the mood over there is pretty tense. People working inside the palace aren't exactly lining up to serve him again, and honestly, I can't say I blame them given all that's happened. Now, this whole messy lawsuit situation that has surrounded Meghan and Harry from the very start feels like a never-ending saga, one that just keeps growing more complicated. But despite the legal noise, Meghan's been pushing her business ventures relentlessly. She's got her wickless candles, those delicate flower sprinkles for cakes, and now this blackberry jam. I'm still waiting on mine to arrive. By the way, fingers crossed it shows up soon, because if it does, maybe she can keep the lights on at that massive Montecito mansion she and Harry call home. It's almost ironic, really.
I mean, everything about this pose is basically the same. Everything about it. You're just missing balloons. Everything about this is exactly the same. And it's very single white female. It's very stalkerish. And it's very much Meghan doesn't know who she wants to be. And she desperately, I think, wants to be as beloved as her mother-in-law. And she can't achieve that on her own. So what she does instead is she tries to copy her one for one. It's not an homage, it's basically a copy. That's the thing. We've seen Catherine, the Princess of Wales, give homage to her mother-in-law, but Catherine's style is hers. It's individual. I don't look at Catherine and see, oh, she's copying so-and-so all the time. Like, I don't ever really see that because Catherine is her own woman. And yes, do some of her items sometimes look somewhat similar to the Princess of Wales, like Diana? Sure, that happens. Of course, it's happened over.
The harder Meghan tries to portray her life as this seamless, effortless fairy tale, the more people seem to catch on to how very carefully crafted everything actually is beneath the surface. On top of that, royal experts keep circling back to the same complaints about the Sussexes. It's fascinating how public perception can shift and twist, especially when every move is examined under a microscope. Some say their carefully curated image just adds fuel to the fire of skepticism. It's like the more polished the presentation, the more people want to dig underneath and question what's really going on. This paradox is a real puzzle, one that neither Meghan nor Harry seem entirely able to escape from, no matter how many new ventures or public statements they put out there. Often, Meghan and Harry share snapshots that paint a picture of a joyful, private family, living their best lives far from the glare of the institution they stepped away from. And honestly,
I'm not shocked this is who Harry and Meghan surround themselves with, and I don't think a lot of other top-notch lawyers would take the case. Number one, you don't know what kind of finances Harry and Meghan have. Are they going to be able to pay their legal fees? That happens a lot of the time in Hollywood where you sign someone and you think you're going to take their case. Oh, they can't actually pay the bills. And I'm happy to see the folks in London and in the courts not kowtowing to them. Nobody should kowtow to these two little hucksters from Montecito. They have no power. They have no importance. She's traipsing around in jean booty shorts, making Instagram videos. She's not even on the Kardashian level at this point. Nobody should fear these two, okay? Prince Harry is a clown. He is a fool. And I think it's very interesting timing that as soon as he has to pay all of this money, these tens of millions of dollars potentially, he's weaseling his way back in with his father, King Charles. He's warming back up to his father.
there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. It's natural for anyone to want to showcase happiness and peace, especially when seeking normalcy beyond the spotlight. Yet, critics can't help but notice a pattern. Whenever a wave of negative headlines crashes in, whether it's a difficult news cycle, a fresh royal controversy, or some new court development, there's almost always a carefully curated photo that drops shortly after. Suddenly, the public sees a smiling family enjoying the California sun, or a tender moment captured in an intimate setting, as if to say, "This is our truth." What makes this dynamic so fascinating is the tension it creates. On one side, many people view these posts as completely natural, a human response to the chaos around them. On the other, some perceive them as strategic image management, designed to divert attention or reshape a narrative that has grown complicated and controversial. This duality doesn't just stir debate, it fuels an ongoing conversation that draws in countless viewers and readers. People aren't just glancing at an image anymore, they're dissecting the meaning behind it, wondering what message is being carefully crafted and why it's appearing right now. And this brings us back to the royal family itself, because ultimately, when it comes to Meghan's recent birthday celebrations and all the posts surrounding them, the most compelling story might not be what she shared directly. Instead, it could be what these moments reveal about the complex relationship between public image, personal happiness, and the ever-watchful eyes following every move.
Practically nothing that Meghan wears is first rate, I've got to tell you. I mean, the woman's taste is so appalling, it's just beyond belief. But then, I think there is a reason why some people call her Car Markle. Because, it's not only strutting up and down the car park, is it? It's the taste of a Car Markle.
Looks like a copy. Because Meghan doesn't know how to dress as a British royal, so she just copies what Diana did. We had this, I wouldn't consider that too close, but then we have this. Feels like very Diana inspired. Yeah, this year, this is from Meghan Markle's The Cut. And then we have Meghan and Diana here. Meghan and Diana here. Meghan and Diana here. And Meghan's kind of, we actually have a better shot at this. Meghan definitely seems to be trying to copy Diana in that style. Like the jeans look similar, the white shirt looks similar. It all feels very samey same.
The real intrigue lies in the space between the photograph and the public's interpretation, an unspoken dialogue that continues to shape this story's unfolding chapters. When Meghan's birthday rolled around, the royal family remained conspicuously silent. No official message fluttered out from the palace's social media accounts, no warm public tribute from William and Catherine. In a world where even the smallest moments are often shared and celebrated, this deafening silence was impossible to ignore. After years punctuated by public disputes, revealing documentaries, candid interviews, and Harry's best-selling memoir peeling back layers of royal life, the quiet surrounding this birthday wasn't accidental. It was loaded with meaning. The palace might lean on tradition and protocol to explain this hush, and sure, that reasoning holds weight. Yet, to many observers, there's something deeper at play. Something more revealing beneath that silence. Why did the absence feel so telling? Because Meghan's birthday wasn't just any ordinary day marked on a calendar, it symbolized a widening chasm between two worlds that once shared a common crown. On one hand, you have the royal family, steadfast in their long-standing roles, carefully navigating a public realm governed by rules, expectations, and a legacy stretching back centuries. Their lives are choreographed with precision, every move measured and accounted for under the watchful eyes of history and the media. On the other hand, Harry and Meghan have carved out an entirely new chapter, one that steps boldly beyond the palace walls and its centuries-old script. They are creating an independent existence, fueled by personal branding, philanthropy, and media projects that speak directly to a global audience. Meghan's 45th birthday became more than a personal milestone. It was a vivid snapshot of two paths clearly diverging.
The one saving grace from these pictures is we haven't got any more pictures of the children from back views.
Yes.
Which again, and they talk about the famous privacy. Well, here they are. They seems to be filming stuff in their home, which you never see the Waleses do. We don't suddenly see pictures of the Princess of Wales in her kitchen. You know, there is definitely lines of what they do. Yeah. It's going to be very interesting how the Sussexes go forward.
While Harry and Meghan could play at being victims while bullying people left, right and centre with Hacked Off and its sidekick Byline Times continuing to foment faux complaints against journalists such as Dan Wootton, whom they had hoped to have locked up for a good 10 or 20 years in either England or Scotland for no other offence than disapproving of the antics of the disgraced Duke and Duchess of Sussex.
While one side chose silence, perhaps as a sign of distance or to uphold tradition, the other side made noise, sharing warmth, celebration, and connection on platforms they control. The contrast couldn't have been sharper. This isn't just royal protocol, it's a story about identity, legacy, and redefining what it means to be part of a family publicly bound by history, yet privately divided by circumstance. And now, with Meghan stepping into a new decade at 45, the real intrigue lies ahead. What comes next in this unfolding saga? The quiet moments, the loud ones, the choices they make all will shape the next chapter in this extraordinary story. She's no longer just known as the actress who married Prince Harry. She's moved far beyond the simple label of former working royal. What she's truly striving for now is something far more complex and challenging: to carve out her own path as a lifestyle entrepreneur, building an identity that feels honest, unique, and lasting. And that's a much taller order than simply stepping into the spotlight and basking in fame. Fame can be handed down like a title or sparked by the media's attention. A royal name alone can open doors and capture the public's curiosity. But building a brand that endures, one that commands genuine loyalty and separates itself from the crowd, that requires something deeper and more authentic. It demands a clear, unmistakable voice that stands apart, something that truly belongs to the person behind it. That's exactly why the same discussions keep coming up whenever people look at her journey. We've seen the skepticism echoed in comparisons to iconic figures like Diana, Martha Stewart, Gwyneth Paltrow, Pamela Anderson, and the countless social media creators who have tried to turn personal fame into commercial success. The real question isn't about who she might be imitating or copying. It's much more profound. Who is she becoming? Because at 45 years old, she carries with her a lifetime full of rich, diverse experiences, far too many to ignore or simplify. There's the high-profile marriage to Prince Harry, a royal experience that most can only imagine, and then the sharp, public breakaway from that life, which sent shockwaves around the world. On top of all that, she has deep Hollywood connections, a trove of international fans and followers, and the platform to launch a lifestyle brand that might redefine her on her own terms. Now, after years of shifting roles and identities, reinventing herself seems inevitable, but that constant evolution has to reach a point where it feels solid, authentic, and ultimately satisfying not just for the public watching from afar, but for herself. Her story isn't just a headline or a momentous chapter in royal history, it's a journey towards self-discovery and empowerment through entrepreneurship. The question isn't about past shadows or comparisons anymore. It's about a woman at a crossroads, with the chance to write her own story in a way that resonates, uplifts, and lasts. And that's the true challenge and opportunity that lies ahead. So, was Meghan Markle openly ignored on her 45th birthday? Well, the answer isn't as black and white as some headlines might have you believe. If you think a snub means the royal family purposefully decided to erase her from the public eye on her special day, then yes, many media outlets and commentators have painted that picture quite vividly. They suggest there's some kind of silent treatment or deliberate avoidance at play. But if you're wondering whether the palace went out of its way to break some secret birthday rule targeted just at Meghan, then the truth is there's absolutely no proof of any such thing. The reality is far more straightforward. Meghan is no longer a working member of the royal family. Once you step back from official duties, the royal family's formal public acknowledgements, like birthday shout-outs, tend to stop. It's a simple fact of tradition and protocol, rather than a personal slight. This isn't about cold-hearted rejection, it's the natural consequence of changing roles and responsibilities. Harry and Meghan chose a different path, and with that came a shift in how they are recognized, officially. Yet, despite this reality, the narrative that Meghan and Harry are victims of a cold royal snub continues to be played up by some media outlets and social media voices. At the same time, they've often been at odds with journalists who cover them critically, sometimes escalating disputes to alarming levels. For example, there were intense moments when members of the Sussex camp seemed to push for harsh legal actions against reporters like Dan Wootton, simply for raising uncomfortable questions about the couple's behavior and choices. This complicated dynamic adds layers of tension, mixing genuine grievances with orchestrated outrage and fueling ongoing controversy. In the end, understanding Meghan's birthday situation requires stepping back from the drama and examining facts with a clear eye. It's about recognizing the roles people play and how traditions shape public recognition, rather than falling for sensationalized stories of targeted exclusion. The truth is less dramatic, but no less important. It reveals a reality shaped by decisions, roles, and the complex world of royal protocol. If you found this deep dive interesting, don't forget to hit the like button. Subscribe for more honest, in-depth stories from the royal world. Share your thoughts down below. Do you think Meghan was snubbed, or is this just part of the royal reshuffle? Join the conversation, and let's keep exploring the stories that matter together.